Setup. Set the Football Federation board on the table. Shuffle and place the free agent footballer cards, footballers with a white shirt, manager cards, and referee cards on the designated space on the board. Place the modifier deck on the Sunday League deck next to the Football Federation board. Place all red attacking cubes, blue defending cubes, yellow goalkeeping cubes, black sliding tackles, white standing tackles. Place the referee dice, place yellow cards, red cards, and injury tokens. League sponsors. Randomly draw 3 sponsor tiles and place them on the designated space on the Football Federation board. These are the league sponsors. Sponsors award prizes at the end of each match. Each player selects a club. Collect the club screen, squad deck with 13 footballer cards, attacking and defending tactic decks, a starting sponsor, and a pitch board. Each player draws 2 manager cards from the manager deck, choose one manager and discard the other. Footballer cards contain a club badge, the main position, a specific position, name and description, an ability, attacking resources, defending resources, goalkeeping resources, and a footballer's cost. Manager cards have a manager logo, name and description, an ability, attacking resources, defensive resources, tactical capacity, and a preferred formation. Referee cards have a referee logo, a name, and the results for the dice rolls: play on, foul, yellow card, and red card. Modifier cards. They have a type of resource added and the added points to either shot box or goalkeeping. Tactic cards have a tactic name, tactic color, red are offensive tactics, blue are defensive, and a tactic description. Sunday League cards. They have a name and its effect. Sponsors. We have starting sponsors, which award prizes if you either win, draw, or lose. And we have league sponsors, which award prizes if you accomplish certain objectives. The season. A season has 3 fixtures and it's played across 3 weeks. The team with the most points at the end of the season wins the game. Winning a match awards 3 points, a draw 1 point each, and losing 0 points. Each time you get points, advance your club badge on the league table. The week. Each week has 5 steps. For the first week, start on Thursday. Monday, sack the manager. Draw 6 manager cards and place them on the table for everyone to see. In order, players can change their manager. To do so, they must pay 10 for every point won to discard their current manager and choose another one from the table. Place drawn and discarded managers back on top of the deck. Tuesday, transfer window, club negotiations. Players that won the last match randomly draw 1 footballer card from their squad deck and place it on the table. Players that tied draw 2 footballer cards and place them on the table. Finally, players that lost draw 4 footballer cards and place them on the table. These footballers are those unhappy at their current clubs and are the only footballers that can be transferred on this step. Starting from the first to the last place in the league table, players may transfer and add to their squad deck as many footballers as they want by paying the stated price on the card to the current owner of the footballer. For every footballer transferred, a free agent footballer card is drawn and placed on the table. When a player is ready making his transfers, another free agent footballer card is drawn and the next player turn starts. When all players are finished, we advance to Wednesday. Unpurchased footballers return to their club's squad decks. Wednesday, transfer window, free agent negotiations. Starting from the last club on the league table to the first, we repeat the process of Tuesday. The only footballers that can be transferred on Wednesday are free agent footballer cards drawn on the previous step. Unpurchased footballers return to the footballer deck. Thursday, training session. Each player replenishes its manager's resources to full. You can spend these resources to train, or you can save them for match day. You can train and gain offensive red tactics by spending red attacking resources, or defensive blue tactics by spending blue defensive resources. Spend as many resources as you want and throw one die for each resource spent. Roll each die to gain tactics. Dice rolls 1 equals 0 tactics, 2, 3, and 4 equals 1 tactic, and 5 and 6 equals 2 tactics. Choose tactics the same color as the resource spent. You can choose as many tactics as possible, but you can use during matches as many as your manager's tactical capacity. Keep chosen tactics secretly in your hand. Fridays and Saturdays are off, so we arrive to Sunday, match day. Matches should be played simultaneously. Look at the Football Federation board to see the fixture. Before the match starts, there's a couple of things you need to do. Each player randomly draws a Sunday League card from the deck and apply its effect. Randomly select a referee for each match. Sit in front of this fixture's rival. Starting 11. Players must choose 11 footballer cards for each match. This is the starting 11 deck. Managers have preferred formations. Nelson Bailey's, for example, has a 4-3-3 formation. If your starting 11 matches one of these formations, you get a +1 attack, +1 defense formation bonus, and place 1 red and 1 blue resource on top of your manager card. Match setup. Place your screen in front of you. Leave the goalkeeper and manager with leftover resources and bonuses resources on top of it. Goalkeepers are always left face up and are active all the time. Shuffle and place the 10 footballer card deck next to you. Place the pitch board in front of you. Place your chosen tactics face down. Matches. Matches are played in 3 turns. Each turn represents 30 minutes of playtime. So the 3 turns represent the 90 minutes of a football match. Each turn is divided into 3 phases: footballer phase, possession phase, and goal phase. The pitch. Each player holds a pitchboard during matches. Here they place their attacking, defending, and goalkeeping resources. The pitch is made of various rectangles. Each rectangle represents a game situation. The center rectangle is the possession. Players bet resources here on the possession phase to get control of the ball and see who is the attacker and who is the defender for each turn. All resources and tackles can be placed on possession. On the right side of the pitch, we have the setups. These are also the rectangles outside the penalty area or penalty box. Attack, defense, and tackles can be placed on setups. However, goalkeeper can be placed on setups. On some setups, there are blocks. A maximum of 1 defense resource may be placed on blocks. On the left side of the pitch is counterattack, which is the only rectangle outside the penalty area on this side. Attack and defense resources, as well as tackles, may be placed on counterattack. On both the right and the left side of the pitch, inside the penalty area, we have the finishes. All resources can be placed on finishes. Goalkeeping resources on finishes account for 1 point. On the goals, on each side, we have goalkeeping. Only goalkeeping resources can be placed on goalkeeping. However, goalkeeping resources on goalkeeping account only for half a point. Finally, behind the goals, on each side, we have the shot boxes. Only attack may be placed on the shot boxes. Key concepts. Resources. There are 3 types of resources: attack, defense, and goalkeeping. All resources are worth 1 point, except for goalkeeper when placed on goalkeeping, which accounts for half a point. In case of ties, attack is greater than defense, which is greater than goalkeeping. Tests. Players secretly bet resources on rectangles to make plays. Possession is tested on the possession phase regardless of the resources placed. Only setups with attack resources placed on them at the beginning of the goal phase can and must be tested. Only shot boxes can be tested even when no attack is placed on them. To test a rectangle, compare the resources placed by the two players. The player who bet the most points wins said rectangle. Link-ups. When testing and winning rectangles, you can link up and test another rectangle. When testing and winning any setup, you can link up with finishing and test it. The setup long shot is the only setup which links up directly with a shot box. When testing and winning long shot, you can test a shot box next. When testing and winning passing or dribbling, you may discard one def from a block on any crossing and link up with finishing. When testing and winning right crossing or left crossing, you can link up with either finishing or headers. When testing and winning finishing or headers, you can link up with a shot box. When testing and winning counterattack, you can link up with either finishing or header. When testing any setup, if it is successfully defended or lost, the defender can link up with and start a counterattack. When testing a shot box, you compare resources against those on goalkeeping. You always draw a modifier card when testing shot boxes and add the modifier result to either the attack or goalkeeping. Goalkeeper resources on goalkeeping can be tested against many shot boxes. If attack is greater than goalkeeping after adding the modifier card, a goal is scored. If goalkeeping is greater than attack after adding the modifier card, a save is made. If goalkeeper equals attack after adding the modifier card, a corner kick is awarded. One defense placed on blocks on any crossing or long shot is enough to cancel that setup. Successful blocks don't count as winning a setup, so they don't award a link up to counterattack. If a block from a cross is successful, a corner kick is awarded. Match phases. Footballer phase. In this phase, we draw the active footballers for this turn. The active footballers represent those involved in the key plays of these 30 minutes. The goalkeeper and manager are always active. For each footballer phase, you can secretly draw either 3 or 4 footballer cards. 2 turns you draw 3 and just 1 turn 4. When both players are ready, show each other your footballers, draw the resources and place them on top of the cards. Possession phase. In this phase, players secretly bet resources only on the possession rectangle on their pitchboards. When both players are ready, they show each other their bets and test the possession rectangle. In this example, we bet 2 attack and 2 defense for the possession. We test the possession. 2 attack plus 2 defense equals 4 versus 4 defense equals 4. It's a tie, but because attack is greater than defense, in case of ties, we win the possession. Because we won the possession, we are now the attackers and our rivals the defenders. We should discard all resources used in the possession phase, but we use Prescott Blackwood's long cross ability. We can move 2 attack resources from possession to headers instead of discarding them. Finally, we discard the leftover 2 defense, and our rivals the 4 defense. After testing the possession rectangle and discarding all of the used resources, we go on to transitions. Starting with the attacker, players can switch attack for defense in a 2-to-1 ratio or defense for attack in a 2-to-1 ratio. Once per turn, players can switch 2 defense for any tackle. For this turn, we'll trade 2 defense for 1 attack resource. Goal phase. Players must bet all of the remaining resources on the pitchboard rectangles, excluding the possession rectangle. All resources except for managers are discarded at the end of the goal phase. As the attacker, we bet our attacking resources on the right side of the pitch and our defense and goalkeeping resources on the left. We already have 2 attack on headers thanks to the long cross ability used in the possession phase. We place all of our remaining resources to achieve our game plan, which is the following. Take a left cross and link up with headers, when dribbling to link up with finishing and get rid of a block if there is one. Take a right cross and link up with headers again. To defend a possible counterattack, we'll defend and counterattack and try to cut the play with a sliding tackle. Finally, we'll place our goalkeeping on goalkeeping. When a rival is ready, we show each other our bets. As the attacker, we choose which setups to test first to start a play. We'll start with dribbling. We test dribbling, 3 attack versus a sliding tackle. Sliding tackle effects are applied first, so -2 attack, and we must throw the referee dice. 9. Play on. After a play on, we must test again. 1 attack versus 0 defense, so we win dribbling. We discard resources on dribbling unless stated otherwise. When you win either dribbling or passing, you may discard 1 from a block in any crossing. We discard the block from left crossing. We link up with finishing. We test finishing, 1 attack versus 0 defense. We win finishing and can now test a shot box against goalkeeping. Attack resources and finishes aren't discarded when used. We test shot box number 2 versus goalkeeping. First, we must draw a modifier card. +0 attack. Shotbox number 2, it's 1 attack plus 0 attack from the modifier versus 1 goalkeeping point. Half plus half. It's a tie. Ties between shots and goalkeeping award a corner kick. We discard resources from the shotbox. Goalkeeper resources, however, are never discarded when placed on finishes or goalkeeping. For corner kicks, you throw 2 dice. If both dice are equal, you score a goal. It's a 3 and a 1. So no goal is scored and the first play comes to an end. Now we have to start another play by testing a setup with attack on it. We test right crossing. 2 attack versus 2 defense. Because attack is greater than defense on ties, we win right crossing. We should discard both the attack and defense used on right crossing, but we use Vito Bello's high cross ability instead. So we move 2 attack from right crossing to headers and discard the defense from right crossing. Now we have a total of 4 attack on headers. Now we test headers. 4 attack versus 3 defense. We win headers. All 3 defense must be discarded from headers. We now use Fidel Salinas Narvaez's helicopter ability. We move 3 attack from a maximum of 4, because Fidel's attack is 4, from headers to shotbox number 3. Now we test shotbox number 3 against goalkeeping. First, we must draw a modifier card. It's a +1 attack. We test the shot box, 4 attack versus 1 goalkeeping. It's a goal. We discard the 3 attack from the shot box number 3 and the play comes to an end. We test our last setup with attack on it, left crossing. 1 attack versus 0 defense. There used to be a block that would have cancelled left crossing and award a corner kick, but we discarded it when we won dribbling, so we win left crossing. We should discard the attack used on left crossing, but we use Vito Bello's high cross ability instead. So we move 1 attack from left crossing to headers. Now we test headers. 2 attack versus 0 defense. We win headers. We now use Fidel Salinas Narvaez's helicopter ability. We move all 2 attack from headers to shotbox number 4. We test shotbox number 4 against goalkeeping. First, we must draw a modifier card. It's a +0. So we test 2 attack versus 1 goalkeeping. Half a point plus half a point. It's a goal, 2-0. We discard the 2 attack from shot box number 4 and the play comes to an end. Goal faces the defender. Let's go back to the possession phase. Let's suppose our rivals bet 2 attack and 3 defense on the possession rectangle. We test the possession. 2 attack plus 2 defense equals 4 versus 2 attack plus 3 defense equals 5. We lose the possession. Because we lost the possession, we are now the defenders and our rivals the attackers. We must discard all resources used in the possession phase. We can't use Prescott Blackwood's long cross ability because it only applies when we win the possession. On to transitions. We change 4 attack for 2 defense. As the defender, we bet our defense and goalkeeping resources on the right side of the pitch and our attack resources on the left. We place all of our remaining resources to achieve our game plan, which is the following. 2 defense on left crossing, 2 defense on long shot, 2 defense and a sliding tackle and dribbling, 2 defense on right crossing. The game plan is to hopefully get a counterattack, either by a positioning bonus or by successfully defending a setup. 3 attack on counterattack to link up with headers, and finally 2 attack on headers and use Fidel Salinas Narvaez's ability to move attack to a shot box. Defenders must successfully defend a setup to start a counterattack. Whenever you win a setup as the defender, you can link up and test up counterattack. Only setups with attack on them have to be tested. If you place defense on setups without attack on them, you don't successfully defend them and don't win them. However, if you place defense on 3 or more empty setups, you get a positioning bonus. When a rival is ready, we show each other our bets. The attacker chooses the order in which setups are tested. They start by testing dribbling. 2 attack versus 2 defense and a sliding tackle. Sliding tackle effects are applied first, so -2 attack and we throw the referee dice. It's a 12. Red card. Because the foul was outside from the penalty box, a free kick is awarded. Fouls inside the box award a penalty instead. Every time an 11 or 12 is rolled, an injury is caused. The player who received the foul must choose an active footballer and discard it from the game at the end of the match. Then we apply the red card. The player who received the red card must choose a footballer to discard. If possible, they must choose a footballer with a sliding tackle ability and discard the card and all resources stated on the card from the pitch. We must choose Wiley Saudi and discard 1 attack and 3 defense. We discard 1 defense from left crossing, 1 defense from long shot, and 1 defense from right crossing. Finally, we discard 1 attack from counterattack. Because we already used the sliding tackle, we can discard 1. Now our rivals must take the free kick. For free kicks, the taker throws 1 die and the other player throws 2 dice. If the taker's roll is equal or higher than the other, a goal is scored. Dice were rolled, the taker rolled a 4 and the goalkeeper rolled a 7. So the free kick is saved. We discard all resources from dribbling unless stated otherwise. It should be the end of the play, but we have a trick under our sleeve. Our goalkeeper ability's goalkeeper long goal activates as we made a save. We can now test counterattack. We test counterattack. 2 attack versus 4 defense. We lose counterattack. However, 2 defense must be discarded. Attack is not discarded from counterattack after used. The attacker continues the attack and now tests passing. 1 attack versus 0 defense, so they should win it. However, we are going to play one of our tactic cards. We play counterattack tactic, which let us place 2 defense on any setup. We had 2 defense and passing, and now the test is 1 attack versus 2 defense. We successfully defended passing and can now link up with counterattack. We test counterattack, 2 attack versus 2 defense. Because attack wins ties, we win counterattack this time. 2 defense must be discarded from counterattack. We can now link up with headers. We test headers, 2 attack versus 2 goalkeeper. Then attack again wins ties, so we win headers. However, we do not discard goalkeeper because goalkeeper is never discarded. We choose not to use Fidel Salinas Narvaez's ability helicopter. We now link up and test shot box number 1 against goalkeeping. We must draw a modifier card. +1 goalkeeper. So the test goes 0 attack versus 1 goalkeeper. A save is made and the play comes to an end. All resources must be discarded from passing. There's no more attack on any setup, so the turn should be over. But we have defense placed on 3 setups with no attack on them, so we win a positioning bonus. We can test counterattack. It's 2 attack versus 0 defense. Counterattack is 1. We link up with headers. We test headers. 2 attack versus 2 goalkeeper. Because attack wins ties, header is 1. We use Fidel Salinas Narvaez's helicopter ability and move 2 attack from headers to shot box number 2. Now we test shot box number 2 against goalkeeping. We draw a modifier card. It's a +1 attack. So the test goes 3 attack versus 0 goalkeeper. A goal is scored. The turn comes to an end. All resources except for unused manager resources must be discarded. All active footballers, except for goalkeepers, must be discarded. All tactics used must be discarded. All modifier cards used must be returned to the deck. Shuffle the modifier deck. After 3 turns, the player who scored more goals wins the match. Wins award 3 points, draws 1 point each, and losses 0 points. Each player must advance their batch in the Football Federation board. When all fixtures are played, the player with the most points becomes the Sunday League Football Champion.